NBS Live at 9.
Welcome. You're watching NBS Live at 9. Questions about leadership, accountability, and so much more. But first, the headlines. In the headlines tonight, end of an era at City Hall as Arias Lukwago accepts defeat in 2026 Kampala mayoral election.
Accept the outcome of the Kampala Lord Mayorship poll.
Court-ordered recount. Tororo Women Member of Parliament race affected by unsealed ballot boxes. Final ruling set for January 27.
If a vote recount must satisfy court that there were numerical expressions, there were errors.
Legal experts and political analysts sound alarm on growing trend of candidates using vote recounts to challenge legitimate 2026 parliamentary results.
A recount will be conducted in Karungu.
And democratic moves within that recount.
With many veteran opposition MPs losing seats, analysts warn Uganda's 12th parliament requires opposition to prioritize negotiation and policy focus to remain relevant.
This is NBS Live at 9 with Victoria Sibia.
Well, let's get started with our first story now. President Yoweri Museveni has sworn in the new Chief Justice, Flavia Zaija, with a call to uphold zero tolerance to corruption, which he says undermines public confidence in the institution. Museveni also commended the outgoing Chief Justice, Alfonso Windolo, for the rationalization of court operations and improving efficiency to ensure timely delivery of justice.
The president, who was in company of First Lady and Minister of Education, Janet Museveni, made the remarks while presiding over the swearing-in of Dr. Flavia Zaija as Chief Justice of Uganda at his country home.
Citizens' intelligence, because that's what you are saying. Because this justice is a service which is rendered to the population. So if you ask the public, they will tell you what they think about the actions of your people.
The president also applauded the outgoing Chief Justice Emeritus Alfonso Windolo for transforming the judiciary operational system, which improved efficiency.
I'm glad you have also talked about the infrastructure and the environment. That's very good to have a special group, because that, to mix it up with the general judicial issues, it delays the progress of the projects, of the industries and so on. So it's good that you are talking of having a dedicated unit.
The Chief Justice, Dr. Flavia Zaija, reiterated his goal of reforming the judiciary through accountability and reducing case backlog, which was complemented by the outgoing Chief Justice, Owinyi Dolo.
Your Excellency, I want to make commitment that during my tenure as Chief Justice of the shall be enforced at all levels of the judiciary.
I have the pleasure to congratulate my younger brother and successor, His Lordship Dr. Flavia Zaija, upon his appointment and eventual swearing in as Chief Justice of Uganda.
Before being appointed Chief Justice, Dr. Flavia Zaija was serving as Deputy Chief Justice.
Leaders are going in and some are outgoing. Outgoing Kampala Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago has officially conceded defeat in the 2026 Kampala City Lord Mayorship elections. Lukwago said he accepts the declared results, though he described the electoral process as flawed. He expressed pride in his 15 years in office, stating that he will leave City Hall with joy. dignity and a clear conscience. He described his tenure as a legacy built on defending Kampala and its residents, particularly the urban poor and traders who often faced repeated evictions.
I declare
Speaking to journalists at his home in Wakaliga following his loss in the 2026 Thursday mayoral elections, outgoing Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago accepted defeat after finishing third among 8 candidates in his bid for re-election.
I do hereby accept the outcome of the Kampala Lord Mayorship poll.
Reflecting on his time in office, Lukwago said he takes pride in having served Kampala without discrimination, maintaining discipline and restraint despite constant political attacks. He noted that he will leave City Hall untarnished by corruption, having provided leadership anchored in the rule of law and accountability.
Against all those adversities that militated against me, I have stood firm in the face of all that. All the time I've been at City Hall, I cannot be accused of betrayal of the people's trust, betrayal of the people's mandate. One thing that I will treasure throughout my life.
Lukwago highlighted proper city planning, protection of public assets, and strict adherence to the law as key pillars of his administration. He said that when the city demanded principled and accountable leadership, he rose to the challenge, delivering governance focused on equity, sustainability, sound policy, and long-term solutions.
When it comes to accountability, rule of law, I have performed with distinction. Friends and foes will agree across board that on that point, Lukwago has delivered with a distinction.
He said he will now focus on advancing the rule of law and supporting a non-violent political transition grounded in the sovereignty of the people.
This platform at City Hall has been one of those pedestals I've always used to advance the struggle. It's gone, but the struggle continues. I am going to commit my resources, my efforts to fight for social justice across board.
Lukwago also acknowledged that some projects remain unfinished, particularly market-related developments, and appealed to his successors to continue initiatives aimed at protecting traders and public assets. According to the Electoral Commission, NUP's Ronald Balimwezo, the Nakawa East Member of Parliament, emerged winner with 141,220 votes, followed by NRM's Moses Chizito Nsubuga with 43,615 votes. Lukwago, who was seeking a 4th term, came third with 41,915 votes. He is expected to officially hand over office in May, bringing an end to his 15-year tenure.
Now, staying with the outgoing mayor, Erias Lukwago's surprise defeat has left many wondering what cost him the seat. The man who has held the Lord Mayor seat for 15 years, known for his resilience and fight for the urban poor, lost to Ronald Balimwezo. Analysts point to several factors, including anti-incumbency fatigue, NUP's strong campaign, and Lukwago's legal troubles, in addition to the forces he challenged that they say might have finally caught up with him.
The outcome from Thursday's local government elections ended Erias Lukwago's reign as the Kampala Lord Mayor, raising questions as to what could have led to his surprise defeat. Political analysts argue that Lukwago faced an unusually tight and hostile contest, not just from political rivals, but from powerful forces who increasingly viewed him as a threat rather than a reformist leader.
The people that are voting today were born around the time Lukwago became mayor, became the MP of Kampala Central. They are the voters today. A few things do not resonate with them.
People believed that maybe they can make change so that they get a new person who can make fresh promises and maybe who could deliver.
They say his outspoken stance on governance, accountability and the rule of law turned him into an adversary of entrenched interests, particularly among Kampala's political and economic hubs.
We'll call them selections and not really elections. So there are many. Kampala, of course, is complicated in the sense that it has a lot of haves and have-nots. Now, the haves definitely did not like Lukwago.
Lukwago has been in public office for many years, starting as a member of parliament for Kampala Central in 2006. Over time, he built a reputation as a strong opposition figure who stood up to powerful forces. Analysts, however, say that the political tide that once carried Lukwago to prominence has also shifted. The strong opposition wave that once defined Kampala politics appears to be losing momentum, giving room for realignment among voters.
The only way Lukwago was going to survive this wave was if he had got an alliance with NUP.
He lost because the political terrain shifted beneath his feet, while his core strength actually remained largely unchanged.
They add that his battles against controversial contracts and powerful business interests earned him admiration from some, but also created deep-rooted enemies.
Yeah, he's a guardian of institutional restraint and is a voice of reason in moments of state overreach, for example.
Of the attrition rate that has affected all the politicians throughout the country.
Others question whether the outcome reflected the will of the voters or the influence of broader political forces shaping the city's leadership. It, however, remains unclear as to whether it was political fatigue, shifting demographics, or resistance from the powerful
In opposition or government, there are very few that are actual objective in parliament.
Dr. Kasuja advises the opposition to engage those with the numerical advantage, equally noting that the strategy of walking out in Uganda rarely yields results.
I don't think that their actions of moving out, banging the tables, what can change what government wants to do in parliament. So I don't see the effect of that.
Veteran politician Waswa Lule, however, castigates the opposition political parties of opting for inexperienced politicians as if they are part of a scheme to weaken the wider opposition.
They've gone into whatever battles that they're talking about, but they've never discussed the issues. They've always walked out before the issues have hit the table. But it is by design, and it's important that the public reflects, looks back and say, really, has this been happening? The other time they walked out, before they said anything, they look for some excuse and they walk out. You cannot create capacity overnight. You don't drop capacity and then expect to get capacity.
Chira Municipality MP-elect George Musisi says that if the leadership of Parliament is transparent and allows everyone the opportunity to debate as required, there should be no obstacle to service delivery as expected.
Many times, if you find that the leadership veers off the rules of procedure or veers off the normal course of business of the way of parliamentary practice, then the numbers that don't matter. We've seen reports of parliament being rubbished for no reason. We've seen committees of parliament being stopped from work for no reason, without giving any substantive reason.
The 12th Parliament of Uganda is set to be sworn in May, marking the beginning of a 5-year term that will last until 2031.
Let's talk vote recounts. Now, the court-ordered vote recount in the Tororo Women Member of Parliament race has hit a snag when 2 ballot boxes were found unsealed, sparking disputes between lawyers. This forced the Tororo Chief Magistrate, Irene Nantaba, to adjourn the final ruling to the 27th of January 2026.
By 7 a.m., all roads leading to the Tororo Electoral Commission offices had been sealed off as security restricted access to the premises where voting materials were kept. Inside the Electoral Commission offices, prison wardens and other security personnel conducted a search for ballot boxes from 10 polling stations. The exercise followed a court order for a recount after a petition filed by incumbent Tororo woman MP Sarah Opendi challenging the declaration of Angela Akoth as the winner of the woman MP seat. Akoth was declared winner with 78,542 votes, narrowly defeating Opendi, who garnered 78,507 votes with a margin of just 35 votes. But as the search concluded, 2 of the 10 ballot boxes scheduled for recount were found without seals, triggering heated debate between Opendi and Akoth's lawyers in court.
Even with the broken seal, as long as the ballot papers are safe, the court can go ahead with the recount.
The argument that they could have been destroyed while in transit does not arise.
In response, Tororo Chief Magistrate Irene Nantabia adjourned the matter to 27th January when she is expected to deliver her ruling. Opendi and Akoth remain hopeful that justice will prevail.
We are in court and we hope that justice will be delivered, because with the 35 vote difference, honestly, there are issues in this election.
Voting recounting cannot be done again. We have not been given the ruling today as to whether we can continue, but we have a Bible, a locus classicus of this case. And my expectation is that when we come back on 27th, that ruling should be effected.
It should be noted that Opendi rejected results from 9 polling stations, alleging that they were omitted during tallying, and further claimed that at one polling station, the number of votes cast exceeded the number of registered voters.
Now, a growing number of candidates are turning to vote recounts to challenge declared election results from Uganda's 2026 polls, raising concerns about the integrity of the electoral process. However, Political and legal analysts warn that while recounts are provided for under the law, they are increasingly being used as a political tool to disrupt outcomes rather than correct genuine errors.
To be conducted to verify each and every ballot in the box.
One of the defining features of Uganda's 2026 general elections has been the increasing number of candidates contesting declared results and calling for vote recounts. In some constituencies, such as Kalungu West, candidates have taken the matter to court seeking legal intervention to compel recounts.
A recount will be conducted in Kalungu.
Political scholar Dr. John Paul Kasuja attributes this situation to weak democratic foundations that failed to adequately restrain political actors, giving room for excessive contestation and manipulation of electoral outcomes. Dr. Kasuja adds that in many instances, candidates who demand recounts are not necessarily seeking clarity, but instead attempting to disrupt the declared results of the election.
Which political parties do they belong to? And if they are belonging in the ruling government or party, then it could mirror undemocratic moves within that recount.
Lawyer Mukasa Mbide explains that under the Electoral Commission Act and the Parliamentary Elections Act, a vote recount is permissible. He, however, says that a petitioner must present clear evidence that the counting or tallying process was flawed, that the margin of victory was below 50 votes, or that the announced results do not correspond with the figures recorded on the declaration of results forms. Mbide further notes that the number of election petitions has increased partially because voter verification machines failed to function. This, he says, has made it more difficult to assure candidates that the election results truly reflect the will of the voters.
Whether counting or recounting, in my opinion, still, we do not arrive at a decision that one would call authentic in nature. So that is something that the country needs to look at.
He adds that courts have imposed stricter conditions on who qualifies to request a recount. One such requirement is that the ballot boxes must be present with seals intact, showing no signs of tampering. According to Mbide, these safeguards have played a critical role in preventing the recount process from being abused as a tool to unfairly overturn legitimate election victories.
Where seals are seen to have been tampered with, for example, either of the boxes has been tampered with, then a recount does not take shape. They are now applicants are advised to go into a substantive election petition.
Some candidates claim that their push for recounts is fueled by interference from resident district commissioners and other security officials whom they accuse of siding with particular candidates. However, RDC Commissioner has dismissed these allegations, saying he has not received any formal complaints implicating RDCs in electoral interference.
If there are allegations of the RDCs and RCC's involvement in an election, it is to the extent of security. Should it be beyond that, then that RCC or the RDC should have made a mistake.
Kasuja, however, warns that persistent electoral misconduct sends the wrong message to young generations.
What they are learning from today is actually very, very unethical. And these are the leaders of tomorrow. So we need to have a situation where we all adhere to the democratic principles.
Now let's move on to the opposition political party. The National Unity Platform has condemned what it called an unlawful raid on the home of party president Robert Chagulanyi, accusing security operatives of destroying property and targeting his wife Bobby Chagulanyi. According to the party's Secretary General David Louis Rubongoya, the incident reflects a growing pattern of intimidation against opposition figures and constitutes a blatant violation of the rule of law. He described the actions as politically motivated and wholly unacceptable.
In a widely circulated video, Bobby Chagulanyi is seen crying out in distress, her voice trembling as she questions what the police want from her home past midnight, pleading through tears after armed officers reportedly surrounded the residence. Hospitalized at Nsambia Hospital at the time of the interview, Bobby Chagulanyi recounted her ordeal, saying armed individuals stormed the home and caused extensive damage to property, leaving the family traumatized.
Creating havoc. The ones who were outside were beating our askari and the other boy that we live with. Some other group was already in our helper's room.
She described the incident as unfortunate and expressed fear about how far the state might go against her family.
He was using one arm, so he held it, then he brought the phone in front of me and said, remove the password. I said, I have told you I will not remove the password. The one that he came with held me in the key.
The officials condemned the actions, saying they undermine democracy and threaten the safety of political actors and their families. Veteran politician Miriam Matembe sharply criticized the government, demanding an explanation for the treatment of opposition leaders. Matembe emphasized the importance of dialogue as a core leadership tool, noting that meaningful engagement with critics and political opponents is the only sustainable way to govern a diverse nation.
Let them tell us publicly and say, look here, we are defending Uganda, and look here, we are defending Uganda and the Ugandans against Kyagulanyi with his army. Let them tell us.
Efforts to obtain a comment from the UPDF spokesperson Colonel Chris Magezi were unsuccessful by press time. Multiple attempts to reach him for clarification on the matter went unanswered.
More to come, brought to you by...
Everyone knows we use Global Paint Undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paint's products.
Global Paint, a reliable...
Looking at what's more to come, agricultural experts have intensified a campaign to boost Irish potato production in Buganda region through the use of organic fertilizers. All of that and so much more still coming after the break.
Starting with 100,000 shillings, you begin building real financial strength, because wealth doesn't just happen, you build it. And the ones who start early end up ahead. Every deposit, every month, every little increase. This is how your money grows into wealth. Put your money to work with the experts at SBG Securities. Partner with us today on your investment journey.
SBG Securities. Keep growing for you, for them, forever.
I want to be an engineer. I want to be a chef. I want to be a mechanic. I want to be a musician. I want to be a basketballer.
Twinbrook International School is a school where you will see people from around the world. It's diverse. You will have the opportunity to experience things you've never experienced before. We have highly skilled teachers and a comfortable environment that does not pressure but eases the minds of students to help them into their future careers. Our school integrates art, culture, history, language, and performing arts such as drama, music, and dance into the academic curriculum. Work smart, succeed. Twinbrook International School.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint Undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
New Tusker Premium Cider. Crisp, delicious apples crushed and blended to create a unique taste explosion.
In the heart of Uganda lies a place where dreams become a reality. Welcome to Zion Estates, your gateway to prime land with titles across Uganda, with estates in Mukono, Bombo, Kaga, Matuga, and many more other estates. With over 15 years of experience, you're guaranteed the best, and you can start paying in installments. All our estates are well planned. Start your journey to land ownership today. Zion Estates, your home, your prestige.
Today, we choose our future. We choose peace. Let's protect our home from violence. Differing choices are part of democracy. Every voice matters. Every vote is for our shared country. Trust in the process and the electoral bodies. Let's vote with our hearts and minds, without provocation and intimidation. This is home. Let's keep it safe. Let's talk peace.
Are you planning an event or wedding? Join us at Nikan Resort Hotel, Uganda. Relaxing accommodation rooms, well-equipped conference halls and boardrooms. Don't miss this fantastic opportunity to experience the best of hospitality and sufficient space. We're located in Seguku Katale, along Entebbe Kampala Road, channeling easy access to Kampala City and the airport. For reservations and inquiries, contact using the information on your screen or visit our website www.nikanresort.com.
Be classic by turning every wash into freshness with Classic Detergent Powder, the high-performance washing solution for all your laundry needs. Toughest on stains, gentle on your hands, and keeps your clothes looking fresh and bright. Enjoy the long-lasting freshness of lavender and lily fragrances. Classic Detergent Powder is affordably priced, giving you unbeatable quality at a price you will love. Customer formulunji, byara mu class ng'okozesa sabuni waffe owobuwunga Classic. Genda kuduka lyonneri kuli okumpi oba supermarket osabe Classic Detergent Powder. Classic Detergent Powder, experience a burst of freshness. Distributed by Chopper General Enterprises, located at shop number 3, Rafik Building, Chikobo, Kampala.
So Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Welcome back. You're still watching NBS Live at 9. Now, the race for workers' Member of Parliament in Uganda has been surprisingly peaceful, considering the hefty price tag that comes with it. Now, candidates have to incur huge costs to campaign across the country, making it one of the most expensive electoral contests. Now, despite the financial hurdles that comes with it, some candidates beat the odds and won, vowing to champion policies that benefit Ugandan workers. Now, these winners are now tasked with delivering on their promises amidst high expectations from the Labour community. But joining us this evening on Live at 9 to discuss this is Ms. Annette Birungi, the Member of Parliament-elect for Workers and also a board member of the NSSF. Welcome, Ms. Birungi. Now, my first question to you is very simple. You've just recently been elected, fresh and new. What is the first thing you are taking to Parliament?
Oh, thank you for hosting me. Dear viewers, I'm so excited, of course. That is something that I need to start with, that I am thanking you. Before I even tell you what I want to do in the first 100 days, or in the first days I go to Parliament, I want to thank all the workers of this country for prioritizing me and making me number one and in the race. But what is it that I really think people prioritize me about? I was talking about safety at work. I was talking about that improved health services, health access, and all those employers that are not looking at the safety of a worker. We need to make sure those health policies work. We need to make sure those health policies work. I know they are there, they need to be reviewed, but Are the employers really respecting them? What can we do? Those are some of the things that I really feel if I go to Parliament, I'll start with health issues, because it is health for all, and we need to see how we can improve access of healthcare services to the worker down there.
Now, one might say that the laws are pretty much outdated. What strategies do you want to employ, I guess, to improve the workers' welfare, particularly in the informal sectors, as you have already said? And how are you going to ensure that their voices are heard in Parliament?
Yes, we have very good laws. I know that. But
many workers, some are working without contract. How do you plan on addressing that particular issue?
Many workers are not, yes, there is a lot of juakali, there is a lot of people working without, the casual laborers are very many, but still we need to see how do we protect that worker that doesn't have a contract, and therefore look at how we can work hard and research more on the Employment Act, because that is where we shall find the contracts, and that is where we shall find the people who are doing precarious work and see how we can protect them, including the people who work abroad, and they don't have also contracts. So we need to work hand in hand to see that we also review the Employment Act and make sure it is assented, because it has been on the table, but I know that it's not yet assented, and therefore we need to work hard as new workers MPs to make sure it is #1 priority.
Many might say that we have really good policies, good laws, especially when it comes to workers in that case. But what are the things that you're going to implement that workers can actually feel immediately?
The workers of this country, they need someone who is going to passionately represent their interests. And to represent the workers' interests, you need to review all the workers' rights. So many people right now, they are not sensitized about the rights of a worker. And therefore, when I reach Parliament, I will try to lobby the government to see how we can at least increase the budget in the Ministry of Gender Labour and see how we can sensitize the workers of this country. Yes, all of us, we know that there are workers' rights, but the majority of the people, they don't know what are those workers' rights. So I really think if we get money and put it in these unions and make sure that the union leaders can sensitize their members and they are aware of the laws, they are aware of the rights, they will be able really to understand on how to protect themselves. But knowledge gap is really causing a very big problem, and therefore we need a budget to see that people are trained and sensitized about their laws, their rights, and also to make sure they understand all those policies, especially the ones that are concerned with occupational health and safety.
Now, finally, how would you want Ugandans to judge your performance at the end of your term?
Ugandans have really put a lot of trust in me, and I was almost a compulsory answer that everyone managed to vote on it as their #1 priority. And therefore, I want you to just have, continue having confidence in me, because I'm a person who have experience. I've been in labor movement for now 20 years, and I know that whatever information that you need, your advocacy will be #1. I will consult you. I will make sure I I represent you effectively because I know what a worker is. I know what you need, and that's how you managed to choose me as your best candidate, and I'll make sure I serve you effectively and efficiently.
Well, you're soon going to be honorable, no longer Miss Annette Birungi. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about the Member of Parliament-elect for Workers this evening. Our feedback tonight, the question we asked was pretty simple. The hashtag to use is NBS Live at 9. What do you think the new Kampala Lord Mayor should focus on in his first months? Well, starting it off there with Mr. Alfred, who says Kampala as the center of national politics and the economic capital needs depoliticization of the development. Its physical and infrastructural plan needs updating. Currently, we have poor and unplanned housing and settlements, poor road infrastructure that has yet to meet modern standards, poor sewage and solid waste management, a decaying and stinking city, rising urban poverty, non-designated and poorly organized market infrastructure, shrinking blue and green spaces, among others. It's a full mouth from Alfred over there. Let's have a look at some more of them over there. Mr. Emmanuel says he should work with central government closely since Kampala is under central government. He should avoid the old politics of Lukwago that was just confrontational instead of focusing on service delivery. That is coming from Emmanuel. Now, moving on to more of our stories, hundreds of people from across the political and religious spectrum gathered to bid farewell to former Ngora Women Member of Parliament Stella Isodo Opolot. She was remembered as a dedicated, service-orientated leader who devoted her life to the people of Teso. The burial ceremony was presided over by the presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of God in Uganda.
Mourners from across Ngora district and beyond gathered to bid farewell to the late Ngora Woman Member of Parliament Stella Isodo Opolot as she was laid to rest. The burial ceremony was presided over by the presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of God, PAG Uganda, Bishop Simon Peter Emyao, who described the late Isodo as a God-fearing leader whose public service was anchored in integrity, humanity, and compassion.
First encouragement for you to learn what Honorable Stella did, first and foremost, to make Jesus her foundation. I knew about the storm that will come tomorrow. Founded herself in Christ Jesus. That's where she died. Charitable, generous.
President Yoweri Museveni praised Isodo for her contributions to Parliament and her commitment to agriculture and education in Ngora district. She reaffirmed the government's commitment to honor her legacy, pledging the establishment of a government development project in Ngora district in her memory.
Now we should do primary school in your village, we can make a project. This all was about development. We shall make a project in honor of Isodo as government.
Opposition leaders in attendance also paid tribute. Forum for Democratic Change FDC Party President Patrick Oboya Moriat described the late MP as a committed party member who diligently served her first term in Parliament under the mentorship of senior leaders. Amoriat noted that despite falling ill during her bid for the second term, Isodo remained determined to serve her constituents.
As a committed member of the FDC and served the people of Ngora with all her energies, strength and intelligence.
Several local leaders remembered the late MP as passionate about her family, her party and the people of Ngora.
Stella was very passionate about her family.
Honorable Isodo has been very active and is that person who stood firm to ensure that roads in Ngora district actually become better and better.
Well, it's time that we look at our spotlight tonight and see what some of our top leaders are actually saying this evening. Lord Mayor Arius Lukwago, the outgoing Lord Mayor that is, just to say thank you and bye-bye to the lovely people of Kampala. It's been an amazing experience sharing this roller coaster journey with you, dear friends. It is well with my soul. That is coming from the outgoing Mayor Arius Lukwago. Now, on the other hand, Anita Annette Among, the Speaker of Parliament, says, my brother, Right Honourable Thomas Tayaba, and I had the privilege of receiving a guided tour of the presidential farm in Chisozi, during which we acquired substantial knowledge regarding cattle husbandry and exemplary agricultural practices. I extend my sincere appreciation to the President Yoweri Museveni and Mama Janet Museveni for their valuable time and insights which they generously shared despite their demanding schedules. The nation undoubtedly gains significant benefit from its expertise, patriotism and dedication to socio-economic development. Now let's have a look at our top stories for tonight. Arius Lukwago accepts defeat in the 2026 Kampala mayoral election. On the other hand, a court-ordered recount in Tororo women member of parliament race affected by unsealed ballot boxes. And finally, legal experts and political analysts sound alarm as candidates demand recount. Those are top stories tonight. Let's go ahead and take a quick break.
Today is a good day to draw up a new play. So start something. Make your move and get in your groove. Do it for the gram. Do it for the culture. Be loud. Be extra. Be a thinker. A life eater. A Tusker light drinker. Start something. Turn on your light. Tusker light.
Buy genuine Decra roofing tiles, the original stone-coated alu zinc steel roofing system from New Zealand. Choose from Heritage, Milano, Shingo, Shake and Classic profiles with a variety of colors and a 50-year warranty. Only available at Depot Uganda. Telephone 0776 898 888 or 0758 853 285. Depot Uganda. Tried, tested and trusted.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165 *80# or use the Momo app.
This PDM is to get all of you out of poverty. That's why we said 100 million per parish per year.
The parish development model is designed to eradicate poverty by providing the support necessary for financial independence.
We have seen how 1 million, how much 1 million can do. The whole of Uganda is very rich. So what you call poverty is actually ignorance. We need everybody to come up.
Let us all take advantage of the conducive prevailing atmosphere of political stability, peace and security to ensure that all our people come out of poverty.
And I've told the banks to stop deducting from the 1 million. You must get the 1 million full. The government is the one which will pay the bank charges.
Now the number of stools in this Matoke enterprise are 1,000. They are on 1 acre. And we harvest 17 bunches every day. The money that we get from this Matoke, after selling each bunch at 15,000 shillings, for the whole year, we get 91.9 million shillings. So I want to encourage all the people of Teso also to change the mindset and adopt to new crops which were not traditionally grown here.
We emphasize 2 words, wealth and jobs. This PDM is to get all of you out of poverty.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
You will always know when you're in the presence of the finest. It's like time slows down, just enough for you to feel everything in full flavor.
Just Kamut Lager. Alcohol is not for certain persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome back. Let's move on to some business tonight. Agricultural experts have intensified a campaign to boost Irish potato production in Buganda region through the use of organic fertilizers, primarily manufactured from cow dung. This is in a bid to restore soil fertility and increase yields. This initiative, led by Itracom Fertilizers Uganda, seeks to challenge the long-held belief that Irish potato farming is impossible in Buganda due to severe soil degradation.
In a bid to boost household income and ensure food security, agriculture experts through Intracom have intensified research geared towards revival of Irish production in Buganda region. The research is intended to enhance production of 7 types of Irish potatoes that can grow favorably in different soil textures spread across Uganda.
We are producing seeds. We will go again for trials in different regions. Then we shall see how they perform.
Specialists involved in the project say improved soil management using organic inputs can reverse declining fertility and support sustainable potato production. Musa Majid, the farm manager at Intracom Fertilizers Uganda, says the intervention focuses on rebuilding soil structure and nutrient balance using locally produced organic fertilizers.
After dolomite 7 days, then we do Otesha plus cow dung.
Fertilizer, it is made with the cow dung.
He noted that demonstration farms have been established to showcase the effectiveness of the approach under Buganda's agroecological conditions.
We have Chirondo, we have Victoria, we have Namagara.
When we started to do Irish here, many people they tried to tell us, no, here the Irish cannot grow.
According to Intracom's county representative, Jean-Luc Bijirimana, the project includes a 50-acre demonstration farm dedicated to Irish potatoes, alongside an additional 13-acre site growing beans and peas to promote crop rotation and soil health. He says the demonstrations are intended to provide practical learning platforms for farmers and extension workers in the region.
When we started, we had first to understand how the soil is, and we found the soil has a lot of acidity. So we had first to apply the dolomite.
The overall investment was allocated 100 acres of land so far, out of the 130 acres initially requested by the investor following guidance from the president. The total cost of the project is estimated to be $180 million, reflecting its scale and long-term ambition.
Next week, because we have power, we have managed to be having some water which we are pumping on our own. As we are waiting with the water from government is going to supply, we can be moving on the construction.
Agriculture observers say the initiative could reshape farming perceptions in Buganda, where Irish potato production has traditionally been limited, and contribute to increased food security if the results are replicated by smallholder farmers.
Well, let's head on to some sport, starting with rugby. Desire Derrickford Mugumisa is the new Heathens Rugby Football Club chairperson for the 2026-28 term of office. The Next Media's corporate affairs manager got 66 votes to beat his challenger, Daniel Rayora, who garnered 43 votes during the elective annual general meeting held at Chandodo Rugby Club on Saturday afternoon. A total of 109 votes were cast out of the 169 registered voters. Mugumisa will lead an executive committee of 6 members.
I'm grateful for the fact that I was given an opportunity to actually serve. It was a lot of turmoil, honestly, but we managed to have a lot of wins, and I know we did not do a lot that we had planned to do, but I want to thank everyone who supported me, everyone who gave me an opportunity to serve. We are impactful. So yes, Desire, I feel, is the best candidate to have taken this forward because I've worked with him throughout my tenure, and especially the last 2 years. He has been very instrumental. Where I was not, he would always come in and support. So I think for me,
I cannot lie to you that I can decode how I feel right now, but I'm glad it's not a feeling of loss. For me, it is a feeling of validation that over the last year and a half or so, I've put in quite a bit of sacrifice at the expense of quite a few things that are very important in my life for this club. The unique thing about our election is that the person that has been voted back in has been acting chair in an unofficial role. So the beauty about that is that there is work that is already going, so we are not starting at zero.
Now, the National Council of Sport has concluded a 2-day consultative meeting with sport stakeholders meant to enlighten them on the proposed National Sports Regulation 2025 that aims to govern both public and private sport facilities effective this year. According to Brighton Barugahare, the chairperson, Task Force Committee, these regulations will help to improve standards, protect users and promote transparency in the operation of sport facilities.
2 days have been consultative meetings on the sports regulations as directed by the Sports Act. The regulations are trying to give a detailed arrangement or detailed laws and rules to be followed in the management and maintenance of sports infrastructure.
The facilities development we are undertaking on behalf of government, we are building smart stadiums. That means the digital agenda in terms of its usage has been addressed 100%. So these are some of the things we are doing, and therefore the issue of the digital transformational agenda on sports facilities management and usage is being ably and strategically addressed.
I don't think it would really make a lot of sense for government to put some of these restrictions mainly on the private facilities, because I mean when you read the regulations, there are some measures which are being, to me, I think are being a bit stringent on them, and most of them will not be able to meet them.
So today we're trying to make the same case, trying to create provisions, media centers, tribunes. How should they be centered? Centrally located, the field of play, gazetted areas within the stands for the written press.
Why this is important is we wanted to get the input from the stakeholders, especially practitioners, so that we are able to make a good law which will bind all of us, but also improve sports facilities, infrastructure and management moving forward.
Looking for a vacation of a lifetime? Cross the equator and discover Pineapple Bay Resort. Enjoy exceptional life's luxuries. Spend quality time with family, friends, or even that special someone. Get in touch with nature with our range of outdoor activities. The calming tranquility of water, breathtaking views, moving memories around campfires. It's all here. Plus, a club experience like no other at Pineapple Bay Clubhouse. It's a whole vibe. You can hire any of our 3 VIP cruise boats for groups of 10, 14, or 25 people. Or you can cruise out with Swipe on a luxury yacht for 12 people. Our premium boats are all safety compliant. Make your next vacay an all-round experience at Pineapple Bay, located on Bulago Island, right in the midst of Lake Victoria. Talk to us today.
Justice is the foundation of a fair society. This Monday on Spotlight UG, we examine how accessible is justice for every Ugandan, what reforms are shaping prosecution, accountability and the rule of law. Under the theme, Justice for All, Access to Prosecution and Legal Reform. Join leaders from the Judicial Service Commission, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions as they unpack progress, challenges, and the path forward. Live on Monday, 26th at 10 p.m. on NBS TV. Justice, Reform, Accountability.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Escape the ordinary. Discover the Patrol Banner, your urban oasis. Indulge in mouth-watering meals crafted with passion, served with exquisite care. From intimate dinners to grand celebrations and family reunions, our beautiful scenery and unmatched service sets the stage for unforgettable memories. And with deals perfect for family, friends, and every special occasion.